Good evening, I'm Madison Carmouche. One Wayne County, Kentucky man is behind bars after deputies responded to a reported domestic violence call. Deputies took the woman inside the home when the man began making threats to burn her belongings. Deputies asked the man to stop or they would have to arrest him. As they began the arrest, one of the deputies sustained a minor injury. Deputies also found amounts of reported methamphetamine and marijuana. Willis Murrow was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center on multiple charges. In Laurel County, the sheriff's office is asking for your help in identifying a suspect. Take a look at your screen. The suspect is wanted after a reported burglary of a home on Barberville Road south of London. The photo comes from surveillance video after a bike and other items were stolen. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600. Now to Israel, where police in Tel Aviv used water cannons to disperse protesters who were calling for the release of all hostages in Gaza and for the resignation of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In Gaza tonight, the focus is on the fighting that has left Palestinians with nowhere to run. CBS's Imataz Tayyab is in Tel Aviv.
It's some of the fiercest fighting seen in the northern Jabalia refugee camp in months. The Israeli military said in January it had dismantled Hamas's command structure across Gaza's north. But now says a resurgent Hamas are back. But it's in the southern city of Rafah, where despite overwhelming international pressure, including from President Biden, not to carry out an offensive there, Israel is now in the 10th day of what it's calling a precise operation. But strikes like this, leaving behind massive craters in streets where civilians had been sheltering, are anything but precise. Enough already, says Saeed. I'm 57 years old and have never seen a war like this. Every time the Israeli army orders us to a safe zone, it's not safe. The worsening violence comes as the Israeli military said tonight it had recovered the remains of hostage Ron Benjamin, who was believed killed on October 7th. On Friday, it was also announced the remains of 3 others, Amit Bouskila, Itzhak Galarenter, and Shani Luke were also retrieved. Shani's mother, Ricarda, told us the family were told in December that there was strong evidence the 22-year-old had been killed before her body was taken into Gaza. And that while it was difficult to learn Shani's remains had been found, it was also a relief.
How will you honor her memory going forward?
I wanted to remember her really as the light that she was for us and for other people. She really believed in peace, and she told us once even, there are no bad people, there are just people that have a bad time. I mean, that was what she said all the time.
Imtiaz Tayyab, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Well, for most of us, it was a dry Saturday across the mountains, but there was a few showers, especially down in the panhandle of Virginia earlier this evening. But right now, we're seeing mostly dry conditions. Let's take a look at the Skycam network. Starting off at Mountain Comp Healthcare up at Whitesburg, you can see 62 degrees right now. And at Pikeville, it is 68 under partly cloudy skies. So overall, not too bad out there this evening. Definitely a nice spring feel in the air. See some green on the radar, but most of that's not precipitation. The light green, just a little bit of ground clutter showing up on the radar. And that means we're likely going to see some fog develop over the next couple hours, although there is some rain down southwest of Bluefield over towards Tazewell, Virginia, extending back towards Kingsport, Tennessee. That is moving off to the east and southeast. We did have a few showers in the Cumberland Valley earlier this evening. Those have since dissipated as a weak disturbance is passing by off to the south. Shouldn't cause us any more issues overnight. Temperatures generally in the mid-60s. We're heading to the upper 50s. As we take a look at that forecast on the First Alert Weather app, you can see overall it should be a pretty quiet night of weather. Good night to open up the windows, let Mother Nature do the air conditioning for you as we're heading into the upper 50s. Now we're back to the 80s tomorrow. It's going to feel like summer for the next couple of days. We'll talk about how long that warmer weather will last coming up here in a few minutes, Madison.
All right, Shane, thank you. Hundreds of people made their way to downtown Harlan for the Headwaters Arts Festival. Local restaurants and artists set up in front of the Harlan Center. Harlan Tourist and Convention Commission Executive Director Brandon Pennington says they want to support them, adding the name of the festival represents Harlan County to the fullest.
This festival focuses on all of the local art and talent that we have here in Harlan County, from painting to music, any type of art we celebrate during this festival. We chose the name Headwaters because the headwaters of the Cumberland River is located here in Harlan County, and much like the headwaters of the Cumberland River flow, art also flows in our community.
Pennington says the arts are a big part of Appalachian culture and they will continue to celebrate them. And if you have a sweet tooth in Harlan, Dessert Week is underway. Several businesses are putting together unique creations on fan favorite desserts. Brandon Pennington says they want to put a twist on it this year with passports for people to use.
We always have Harlan's Dessert Week during the month of May. And this year, what we've done is we've taken bakers from around our community, and they can set up and they can actually stamp your Dessert Week passport. And once you collect 5 stamps, either from the bakers here at the Headwaters Festival or from our restaurants that are offering desserts.
Dessert Week ends on Sunday. Folks can take their passports to the Harlan Center for a free t-shirt. Free Wi-Fi is now available for people to use in several places in downtown Harlan. With the help of a grant and several community partners, folks will be able to connect to the Wi-Fi using one of the 5 routers across the city. One Harlan County's Executive Director Cole Raines says with internet connection not being the best in Harlan, this addition will be beneficial for a lot of people.
Well, there are a couple things that make this really beneficial. I think one, it's great for tourists who are coming in from out of town who may not have great cell signal. You know, when they want to navigate to a business to shop, to go somewhere to eat, this will enable them to do that more seamlessly.
Raines says it will also be beneficial for people working and living in the downtown area. Before Dr. Bonifacio Arenas arrived in Warfield, there was a dying need for improved health care in the community. With there being no ambulances, no emergency facilities, and only one other doctor in the area, Dr. Arenas had much to get done. And 46 years later, Warfield is a changed community due to his efforts.
There was no ambulance when I came here, no paramedics, no medical technician, you know.
It is, we were lucky. We got one that cared about the community. He wanted to make people well. He really enjoyed. They became family. They weren't just patients, they were family. And he treated you just like he would treat his family.
During his retirement celebration, numerous members of the community spoke on his behalf about how he has helped save lives and the community. With many school districts throughout the Commonwealth preparing to end their school year, one Eastern Kentucky church provided kids the opportunity to welcome summer in a fun and exciting way, while also giving community members the chance to learn about ways to prevent disease that was the 6th highest cause of death in Kentucky back in 2021. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the summer kickoff and stroke screening.
An event to welcome summer.
We're out here having a great time. It's just an opportunity for people of all ages, families, to come out and have a great time.
While providing an opportunity to raise awareness for stroke prevention.
We encourage people to get stroke screening due to the high prevalence of stroke in the state of Kentucky.
Helping educate community members on the signs of a disease that caused more than 2,400 deaths in the Commonwealth in 2021.
We know that 80% of strokes are preventable, so by identifying these risk factors, we can get ahead of the curve and hopefully prevent a lot of strokes.
Parkway Ministries and Baptist Health partnered to provide community members with a day of fun and a free stroke screening as part of Stroke Awareness Month.
This was a perfect opportunity and venue for us to reach out to the community, provide health care, a stroke risk assessment.
Finding multiple ways to give back to the community.
We want to build a relationship with our community. We at Parkway do. We want them to know that Parkway Ministries is a church here in Corbin. Everyone is welcome. We love everyone. That's really the drive behind it.
An event that brings smiles to kids' faces.
I just love hearing the children laugh and having a good time. That, for me, is it means everything.
And fun for everyone.
It's good to know that families are coming out and people are meeting one another. We're building new relationships, and most of all, kids are having fun.
In Corbin, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Excuse me. Allen said Parkway Ministry aims to host one big event each month to stay involved with the community. For more information, you can find this story on our website. Coming up at 11, the presidential race is heating up as the election is now less than 6 months away.
And the temperature is also heating up. We're going to be feeling like the mid-80s the next couple of days as summertime feels on the way. We'll let you know how long it'll last after the break.
Summer's here, and with a new